again. This is Patriot Luvuyo Mkigela, or also known as the Phaphama Foundation. Glad to have you back to my channel. Today we're talking about law of attraction. So without any further ado, let's just start. So the law of attraction is a secondary law to the law of vibration. The law of vibration is one of the 7 Hermetic principles or Hermetic laws. First being the law of mentalism, law of correspondence, the second one. Third one then being the law of vibration. Then the fourth being the law of cause and effect. Fifth one, the law of polarity. Then the sixth, the law of rhythm. The seventh one, the last, this is the law of gender. So these are the 7 Hermetic principles, general 7 Hermetic principles. Obviously we have more laws than just the 7, but these 7 are the general encompassing laws of the universe, you can say. These are unseen laws. So today we're discussing the law of attraction in correspondence with the law of vibration. So the law of vibration states that nothing rests. Nothing is ever at rest. Even in death, there is no cessation of vibration. Even a corpse underground still vibrates because it decays and turns to dust. So that means it's still vibrating, because in actuality, no one can destroy energy. Energy is just transferred or transmuted, cannot be destroyed. So the law of attraction states that like attracts like. So how I feel, what I'm thinking, how I feel, obviously affects how I act, and thereby that attracts to my life all of those things, because your thoughts are electric, then emotions are magnetic. So your thoughts, all these thoughts that you have this emotional pull with, or you can say emotional conviction, thoughts that you feel as though that they are true for you, then those thoughts are impressed upon your subconscious mind and will most certainly affect how you act. And then that attracts to you whatever that you put out to the universe. The law of attraction also states that you don't get what you want. You get who you are, or you get what you deserve. The universe is governed by laws. Hence, the law of attraction states that you get what you deserve, not what you want. You can utter and say, I want this, but if your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are not in alignment with what you are uttering, saying that you want this for your life, for yourself, then you won't get what you're uttering. You'll get how you feel about yourself. So this is an example quickly. I can say, I want to achieve a certain endeavor, goal, by month end, in a month's time. And then my thoughts, emotions do not believe that I would do that, I will achieve that. Then this disbelief affects my action. Now it means that I will not act in accordance with what I want to achieve, meaning I will not do anything that will be contributing to that achievement or that end goal that I have in mind. therefore end up not getting it. So we have three expressions of consciousness: thoughts, feelings or emotions, energy in motion, and then action. So what you attract is mostly affected by the feeling. So feelings are magnetic, so you attract with your feelings. So I can think I want to achieve a certain endeavor, let's say month end, and then my thoughts are not in alignment with my emotions. My emotions are not with this goal I want to achieve, they are somewhere else. Then there's a misalignment with these expressions of consciousness. Because once you think you want something, your emotions have to be invested in that something that you want. And then you obviously have to have the guts, the courage to act towards that what you say you want. Therefore, you manifest it in the universe. Not only to say, I know in the internet, for example, there is teachings that you may just sit there and do nothing and just think and feel and attract what you want. I want to be clear. All these three expressions of consciousness must be in alignment. I cannot just sit here and be in Zen mode and, be in Zen mode and hope and feel and think that I want this certain endeavor and not act on that endeavor and then get it. It will not happen because there will be still one thing from my side that is missing: action. Because action represents us taking the initiative to engage the physicality, or to engage, you can say, Mother Earth, to engage the energies of the macrocosm, because we are the micro. So if you don't act, then there's a missing link or missing chain, a link in the chain of the events that have to take place in you manifesting what you want for your dreams, for your goals and your endeavors. So obviously also, these three expressions of consciousness are affected by your level of consciousness. What do I mean by that? Obviously, we have what you call trivium. These are steps in which we generate knowledge and wisdom. So the information you gather or are exposed to, you acquire, then you derive your knowledge out of it, out of the information. So the first step is the information that you gather or you are exposed to, that you're always immersed by. You're spending your time in this information. Let's say you get your information from social media. That information is going to generate a certain kind of knowledge that you have, and then that knowledge that you have is going to then generate certain actions, so wisdom that you will have. So that then generates, or you can say determines the level of consciousness you are at with the information you're exposed to, and then the knowledge you derive from that information, and then the wisdom that comes from that knowledge that you have now from that information. Then it determines the level of consciousness you're at. And then that level of consciousness is what attracts what you want. So we are all attracting at our own levels of consciousness. So I cannot sit here and be like, I want to attract the same things that, I'm just making an example, like a billionaire does. we are obviously not at the same level of consciousness. And I'm making an example with a quote-unquote billionaire to make an example that I'm talking about money. So if now I want to attract money the same way a billionaire does, it's only levels of consciousness. What information do they possess? And from that information, what knowledge do they have so that they can act, or so that they act in the way they do in acquiring, manifesting all that I would be making this example now. I would be inspired by saying, I want to do the same thing as that individual. Because all of us, individually speaking, we're not at the same level of consciousness. Because, again, we have a filter within our mind. We have a filter. Ever heard famous Jim Rohn, famous motivational speaker, the late Jim Rohn? He would say, for example, life is not bad. Your perception of it is. So that means now your filter has to be improved every time. I call it a windscreen. Your windscreen has to be cleaned every time, because if your windscreen is not clear, or is not, you can say, neutral in terms of what's happening outside of you, it will always mislead you, because you will say things are bad outside while they are not actually bad, but how you see them, then you conclude they are bad, and then that conclusion, information again, becomes your knowledge, what you know, what you've concluded, and then affects your action, your wisdom, what you have learned. Then now you act as though that things are bad while they're not. So their perception has to be clear, seeing things as they are. Because most of the time, obviously, we as human beings don't want to accept things or situations and circumstances. We don't like the truth, either us deriving that truth for ourselves or being confronted by it. We don't like that. We want things to be how we think them they are, not how they are actually. So as we are confronting the world, engaging with the world, with the physicality of the world, we want the world to adjust to what we are and not how the world is. So that's why now we also say the truth is not hinged or dependent upon human perception. The truth is objective. The truth existed in the past, and the truth exists in this moment. The truth is objective, meaning that we human beings have a job to align our perception to that truth. I like the definition by Mark Passio of the truth, or the word truth. Simplifies it very nicely. That which was and that which is. We don't speak about the future because it's not here as yet. So the past and the present, that's it. That which was and that which is at the present moment. That's the truth. It doesn't matter what it is. You see, I can come now and lie to you about something, but that which is, that's something I'll be lying about, that does not change. It does not even waver. Your perception, you listening to me, is what's important. You have to be able to discern what I'm saying to the truth. The truth is what now is important with what you attract, because we attract that which we deem as truth or truthful for ourselves. So if I think, for example, I'm great, and I know that to be true within myself, that I'm great, then I'm gonna attract greatness in my life. I'm just making an example. But if I want greatness, but the truth within my heart and mind, which I impress upon my subconscious mind every day, is not greatness, is self-doubt, lack of self-confidence, lack of self-esteem, then the truth now is not that I'm great. The truth is that I lack self-confidence, that I'm in doubt. That's what will manifest. Because your mind, again, cannot distinguish from a dream and this waking moment. That's why now it's easy for us to, you can say, to hack it, to hack the mind and reprogram the subconscious mind based on what you now want to deem as truthful for you. You want to create a wealthy energy out of yourself. You have to believe from the depth of who you are that you are rich, that you are wealthy, beyond what your eyes show you of your present circumstances. Then being rich will be second nature to you, because then you ooze that energy around. But until the belief is second nature within your heart and mind, you will always attract lack, produce lack, because your utterance are not enough to convince your subconscious mind of the truth that you want to be within or to be vibrating at. Let's go back to the law of vibration. What you vibrate at, the level at which you vibrate at, is determined by the frequency that you tuned into. So just like, for example, you can take an FM radio, stereo, and then choose which station or radio frequency you want to tune into. It is just like that. But obviously with frequencies now, it is not horizontal, same level of frequency or same level of the frequency spectrum. It is instead vertical, meaning now we have low vibrational frequencies like guilt, shame, anger. Those are lower vibrational energies. And then we come obviously to the neutrality of things, courage. And then when you go up now to the higher levels of vibration, we're talking love, we're talking joy, we're talking bliss. Obviously also this is represented by the spectrum of your aura. The heart of the human being has the biggest, you can say, the biggest electromagnetic field than the mind or the brain. So our auric field, or you can say our torus field, is determined obviously at the level of our frequency. Then that determines the vibration. Just like when you look at the musical scales from the bass to the, you can say, the light or higher voices, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. all of these notes have frequencies and vibration. So obviously do being the bass at the bottom is sort of like, that's like a lower vibrational or lower frequency. And then as it goes up, the frequency increases and also the vibration increases. So you want to attract what you want. The first question is, what frequency am I tuned into? Now let's change the word frequency now. Means, what is the information, going back to the trivium, what is the information am I exposed to, immersed to, or immersed by? Who am I spending my time with? The environment. Because again, when we talk the frequency is not only affected or influenced by what you are thinking and feeling. It's also influenced by our surrounding. That is now epigenetics. We'll talk about that in another video. It's influenced by the surrounding, the environment. But you have a choice to influence it, to decide which route the energy within you goes, good or bad or otherwise. So now, what information are you exposed to? What is it that you do on your daily basis? Friends or whomever that you surround yourself with, what is it that you're always talking about? Then you understand now which frequency modulation you sort of at. And then that, because the frequency determines the vibration, then you already understand, okay, this is where I am and this is where I want to be. Then you do the work, you change the information because you want this and you are here. Then you have to change that information, the frequency. Just like on a radio station again, you don't want to listen to 94.8. You change the frequency to what you want to listen to, 88.3. This is just an example. And then when you get to that frequency that you want to listen to, you are suddenly enthused, energized to do what you want to do. So obviously this choice of changing the frequency is not easy because you are surrounded by whomever, but you have to make that choice. Then your law of attraction then changes to be what you really want, or the alignment happens with these three expressions of consciousness: what you are thinking and wishing with your mind, and also feeling, then has to mesh your actions so that your subconscious mind can receive the new recording. Remember, the subconscious mind is impersonal. It does not discriminate. And it outpictures everything that you impress upon it by the conscious mind. So now, that means whatever that you hold dear as truth for yourself. So you may not like something, but because you trust it, you see and deem it as truth. That's what happens. That's what your subconscious mind records, because it is a habitual brain. It is just empty, waiting for you to impress upon it new habits. If there are no new habits, it plays back the old ones that you already have. So if you want to change something there, you understand that the conscious mind has to impress upon the subconscious mind, not just in one day, but probably you can use the widely known 21 days of breaking a habit, or use what works for you. 4 months, 6 months, a year, depending on how deeply embedded what you want to change is with you. Belief systems, habits, routine, whatever it is. But you have to now create this new habit and then put it in, so that now the subconscious mind can say at some point, oh, this is the new recording. Then it puts it in, because it can see you, or it can perceive with your from your conscious mind. 1, thinking. 2, emotions, strong emotions. And then your actions, that, okay, this is what we're doing now. This is the new us now. Then it discards the old recording and replaces it with the new one that you'll be doing. But until then, nothing changes. There's a saying that says, until you change your thinking, nothing will change for you. Because again, what we think and hold dear with our emotions so strong, we create, or we become, because that will derive, or that will drive our action. If someone now says something that's offending to you, he says it, you receive it, the mind processes it, and it is offending because the subconscious mind is already programmed. You already programmed your subconscious mind that these are the words, these are the actions that are offensive to me. And then if this happens, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to be this and that and that. And then the subconscious mind, after receiving that offense, plays back to you what you need to do with your action. You understand now? Then you act out angry. You rebut towards that offense. But now you don't realize that it was automatic. You almost did not really think before you acted. You just acted because your subconscious mind already had the playing or the recording for that action. You did it long time ago, maybe through other actions that happened to you or circumstances. Then you drew truth from that and said, this makes me angry. And then you had a strong emotion to back it up. And then your mind was like, yes, it does. So that's how the law of attraction in a nutshell works. And this is just part 1. I'm glad you were here, and I hope you did enjoy the video. Please do subscribe, like, share, and yeah, follow me on my TikTok account also.